Hello, welcome pen friends. Today I'd like to recap day 9 through 20 of the Colorverse Colorvent for 2024. So we're going to begin with Red Horizon and we'll go all the way through day 20, which is White Hole. And I am going to take you through my ink journal, which is a Graphilo, one like this. It's a booklet style A5 with 8mm line grid. And it's just the most gorgeous paper. It's the highest quality paper I've ever used. And special thank you to Pen Friend MS for sending that. It's top-notch paper, which makes it an even more of a fun experiment. I'm usually always on the 68 GSM Tomoe River paper like what this is. This is actually in my Bond Travel Gear, old stock. So we've got a red, we've got a green. This green actually reminds me of Parker green. I'm recovering from COVID, believe it or not. I can't believe it because it's long past that and I just was shocked. But anyway, this is day 5 and I'm much better. I just don't sound better. But hopefully it won't be too bad. Hopefully my voice will hold up. And then we have a really complex and interesting Davinci Glow and a yellow Sunbeam. And a gorgeous blue that was really saturated and thick, and then absolutely gorgeous Pulsar Pulse. We're going to go through all these separately, and another blue, and a black, and another green that's kind of more of a foresty green, and then Morning Glow, I'm not sure, purple, gray purple, whatever it is, a purple with a shimmer in it. Let's see. Look at that blue shimmer. Well, you'll be able to see it better on the splats, I'm sure. So, you know, we only have 4 days left, but I decided I would do this because to try and do all the rest of them would be too much. And I really wanted to connect with everybody today. So, today's is Friday, December 20th. So, is that the right day? I have to look at my stamper. Yeah, I think so. So the last one in this series is, or in this section is White Hole, which is very, very light. But okay, let me hop right into the ink journal and I'll show you what I've been doing. Okay, so here we have another red. The first day was red. The first day was Colorverse Supergiant, and that was a bright red. And then this one is more of a deeper, I wouldn't say burgundy, but it's definitely a deeper red. This one, Colorverse Red Horizon, which is the one we're talking about now, it's more like Redshift, Colorverse Redshift, if you're familiar with that. But oh, it's super saturated, it's gorgeous. It reacted beautifully with the water brush. Just happy with that. Now, I made a little mess here and there, so I probably didn't let things dry enough. That's typical. And then there's the chromatography. Yeah, it just had super flow and just deliciously saturated. Okay, then next up is the green that I think kind of reminds me of the older Parker green. And that's without looking it up. That's without getting in the file. But I had what was an older sample or like a vintage Parker green that this reminds me of. It's just such a happy color. It really is. And then it's got the complexity. It doesn't have any water resistance, but it's just beautiful. And super flowy. Perfect, steady. And I really like it. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. Just really nice. And there's the chromatography. Whoops. Down in the right corner there. Hoping you can see everything. Okay, so then next up is Colorverse Davinci Glow, which kind of looks like a blue-gray, a wintry color. It's got quite a bit of water resistance. I was surprised at that. Here's the chromatography. It does lighten, but it definitely gives you a nice solid, kind of almost like a brown or steel look down at the bottom there. This is too light in a nib for me, but I found the splats to be delicious. And again, I'm doing the splats by just using a ink syringe to put down a couple dots, and then I just use this as a, you know, to blow the ink around. They all come out different. And I got the idea, I mean, Wendy Sue's little gizmo is different, but I got the idea from her, and I've been enjoying that so much. Like, it's a different way to make my splats, so Okay, so next up we have a yellow, which I didn't think I'd like, but it's pretty. Yeah, it's got readability and a variety in it, and it's kind of a dirty yellow, but it gives it a nice, yeah, you can read it, in other words. It's not too light or washed out, and I just think it's pretty. It reminds me some of Birmingham Sunrise Key, and I can't find the tile. I've been looking and looking. Let's see. I don't know. Unless it happens to jump out at the last minute at us or fall out of something else, then I don't think I'm going to find it in time, darn it. I don't think I put it away either, but I don't know where I put it. Anyway, it was very similar. It was the closest I could find to it. And so I wasn't surprised because Sunrise Key also was readable. So it was pretty. Yeah, sunshine is very needed these days. we have sun today, which today's December 20th, and we have had days where it was just so gray. Okay, next up is a nice, really nice kind of a blurple, I'd call it. It is Neptune Occultation. Oh my goodness, I don't know how to say it, but it's really saturated. It's the kind that sticks, well, not sticks, because I did notice that it'll run back down after a minute or so, but you see what I mean. When I shook that around, okay, now it's finally being that you can see the vial again. Well, I don't know if you can, but I can. But anyway, it's quite saturated, so it makes beautiful, beautiful, I was going to say music, but when you apply a water brush, you get all this beautiful stuff. Huh. Something was redacted. Oh, that's odd on my birthday. That was my birthday. Poor sleep. Oh, I'd had a meeting from, HE double toothpicks the night before, or the day before, so yeah, which turned out okay. It's just hard. I sometimes process things after the fact. It takes me hours and hours and hours to go over everything I said and the other professionals said and try to remember, did I make any sense? So it was a rough night, but then I had a good birthday. And then after that, everything went to crazy. Okay, but we'll get to that. Okay, so the next color is my new favorite. I'm just going to tell you. So far, of all the 20 days that I've done so far, Colorverse Pulsar Pulse is my favorite. I even put it in a pen. I put it in this Lamy, and I cannot remember if this is Ocean Blue or Tourmaline. I get them mixed up, so I have to go back to the inventory. But I just felt like the inner workings of this ink matched so perfectly with this All-Star. And this is the first color that I went and inked up right away. I've got it in a stub nib. And I put it here, I wrote with it here to kind of see, and it's gorgeous. It's really, really pretty. It's blue, but I would still call it a teal. It fits right in with all my teals. So, in fact, I think I did a panel for Instagram on this, but yeah, everything starts getting fuzzy there after I got sick, but okay, so nice shading, gorgeous sheen. Let's see if we can get a look at that. I mean, we have to. We can't get away without seeing that a little bit, so you can see what I mean. Look at that. It's like a pinky red sheen, and it's it's really, really impressive. So, my favorite so far, so I know that at least one of the three that I'm going to choose, Colorverse is going to do voting, and they're going to do a full bottle on the three that get the most votes. I don't know if I'll actually get to vote because I didn't buy a Colorvent. A generous friend, pen friend, CS, sent me samples of all these. So thank you so much. And but I'm still going to vote in terms of letting you know which three I like the best. So okay. So next up we have a lighter blue, which is still very pretty and very impressive in the splats. Colorverse Brinicles. But after the one before it, how do you compete with that? Well, I guess you do it, people that like a subtler ink without all that sheen and saturation maybe, but it's still a very solid, beautiful color. Let's see, and this was the 15th, which was Sunday, up early. Yeah, I wasn't quite, I was sort of realizing I wasn't feeling great yet, but it was the next day that the bottom fell out, so... Okay, so then, yeah, and it was a black ink day, wouldn't you know? Okay, so this was December 16th, Colorverse Eclipse Silence, a nice black. There's the splats, and you know, it's just really solid. I probably would have done better with it not in a broad nib, but I wanted to treat each ink the same, so I still did it in the broad nib, and probably would have been better in a fine nib, but it's flowy, crisp. It's a nice ink. It isn't really what I would call a holiday color, but a lot of people will be really pleased that these are some real variety of colors. You know, there's nothing, yeah, there's a good variety in this, I think. I think they did a great job. Okay, and so if this was the Monday, yeah, this was Monday. In the evening on Monday, that's when I realized I was seriously ill, and I took the COVID test just for the heck of it, and it was very, very clear that it was a definitive positive. So after all those years, I can't believe we escaped it all that time, and here we are now, Christmas 2024. Okay, so next up was a beautiful, beautiful green. Oh dear, and I let oh, that was an awful day, must be, yeah. December 17th. I'm sick, run down, achy, ew. Oh, well, don't read that. Just look at it for the ink part. We'll put that right on top. It has a beautiful chromatography. The splat has quite a bit of kind of a sheen, but I don't know. It's more or less just the darker part of the ink, I guess. I don't know. I'd have to explore that a little more to see whether I actually call it sheen, but it's pretty. And poor thing got a bad day, so... That ink didn't get a fair chance. Okay, so next up, this appears at different times when I look at it. I see it differently, but I'm pretty sure that there's my pen friend that checks on me every day. My watch, whoops, went off. I don't want to show the name. But, it's gray. It's purple, maybe purple gray, something like that. And it's called Morning Glow. This is pretty. There's just enough readability for me, and yet I still wouldn't choose this to write letters with. But I really thought that the splats were quite impressive. You get such a variety in how it looks, and it's beautiful. And this paper is impressive. But look at that little rainbow. We got pink, yellow, and light blue. Just gorgeous. So, you know, I like the complexity of this. Oh, I had 2 Whataburger taquitos. Yeah, Manuel was not sick. He was, you know, running the show at that time. And he went out to run an errand, take flowers, and he came home with 2 taquitos for me. That'll make you feel better. I like Whataburger taquitos, so. Okay. Too light for me, but I still like that. Okay, and then for December 19th, we have a purple with like a blue shimmer. Ooh, and I think Colorverse will always call these glistening, but in terms of ink swatch and how I just, it's either shimmer or it's not, you know, and so we don't try to call things glistening or chameleon or starbright. That's important for the makers they designate those things, but for our purposes on the website, we'll just put shimmer so that you know it has particles or not, you know, rather than you have to get an encyclopedia to figure out, you know, what's going on. But this is a beautiful purple. Look how it reacted with the water brush. Okay, so, and I said I think this is a top 3. But look at that. It goes over the shimmer and everything, and then it's got gold sheen. Ah, I don't know if you can see that. Darn it. With my glasses. Okay, kind of like maybe right there. You might be able to, but I can see that it's a bronzy gold sheen. So that that gives this ink something. I would predict that this may end up in the top 3. It just depends on how many people vote who actually like shimmer. And I'm not sure I would vote for it yet. It just depends, because I already have one. I already know that it's going to be, that Pulse would be a choice. But I think this one definitely a contender. It just depends on if there's one in the last 4 days that takes my fancy better, I guess. Okay, and then the last one for today is this. I guess it's a blue-gray, kind of a light. I just ended up splatting with it because I didn't like how it looked in the nib. Every single one gets the same type of dipping, and this is just too light. But it was okay for splatting all over. It was fun to do that. So, okay, so this is Colorverse White Hole. And definitely I wouldn't be writing letters with it. But, you know, it's an interesting ink, and it'd be somebody's, you know, somebody's favorite. Or maybe if you had it in a really nice flex nib that would, excuse me, feature it, it might work. Okay, so I think what we'll do now is I'll just lay out the tiles in sort of a messy way, and we'll see where we're at as far as which ones I thought the most of, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, when I said messy, I guess I meant it. Okay, so these 3 were too light. So I would just say, okay, I tried them. And then this is black, and you know, nothing against it, but I like my cross black and the other blacks that I have, the inks, okay? And then, so this was from the first 8 days, the Colorverse Supergiant, but these are the 3 so far that are my favorite, but it's very tentative. I also really liked Colorverse Edge of Night from the first 8 days, but that does not a wow ink for me, not like these 2. And I'm not sure I'll ever really would vote for a red ink, because I've got so much good red inks that I like. I actually like Twisby Crimson, and I like KWZ Thief's Red, and I love Pilot Momiji, so I wouldn't really be, it wouldn't be in my interest to vote for a red, so I think we'll put that. So I know these 2 so far. Definitely. Pulsar Pulse and Colorverse Milky Way have really captured me. And then these are ones that I like them all. Like I could write with these. I would be happy. Red Horizon, like I said, reminds me of Red Shift. This one, I don't really like these super saturated ones where I feel like I'm going to clean the pen all day, unless it gives me something like this one where the color is irresistible, the teal, and it's not looking teal on here, it's looking bluer. That's too bad. Darn it. I've got some I can compare with, though, in a minute. So, you know, and then these are nice, but I'm not looking for more of it. They're just pretty. Okay, let's see really quick if we can do a comparison panel. I think we can. With some other teals. Let's see. Okay, Diamine Alexandrite really reminds me of this one. You know, and they're not going to look probably true because of the coloring I've got here. Okay, let's see. Oh, Colorverse Gravity Wave. Okay, so Gravity Wave looks greener to me. I don't know. This may not make any sense because of the lighting. And then Diamine Hell's Bells. Diamine Yuletide looks greener as well. Diamine Fire and Ice. Whoops, this isn't good. Okay. We got to be able to read them or they don't mean anything. Okay, this one is Colorverse Blue Dragon. Lake of Fire. Okay, whoops, that's a brown one. Can we even see? Yeah, okay, they're all here. Here's the Colorverse Pulsar Pulse. And really, I feel like Diamine Alexandrite, the one that is not a shimmer, is the closest. It's just a super nice color. And Gravity Wave is similar, but it's... In fact, when I'm writing with it, with the Pulsar Pulse, it really reminds me of Gravity Wave. But then when I see the inner of the color, as teals go, Gravity Wave is greener and Pulsar Pulse is bluer. In the way I see it, anyway. Okay. I think we better head to the library while I still have any voice, just to, you know, finish out the video real quick. Okay, well, we're in the library, but I got a red nose and a cough drop and, you know, not all that great. So I thought I'd just let you look at my books and stuff. And, but I didn't want to close out without saying Merry Christmas to everybody, and a big thank you for all of the pen pal letters and packages and cards and things. I am going to have a lot of catching up to do with writing. I had a real lot of cards and letters go out. I mean, I was keeping up, and then of course I had a couple days where I was just a couch potato and resting and everything like that. So, but today I felt better, even though I sound just horrible. I sound like a donkey, but I just wanted to connect with you, and we'll be able to connect in the comments and everything, and see how are you liking these Colorverse inks, even if you didn't get a kit. But what do you think about these colors? I kind of recap for you so far the ones that are my favorites, and I'm looking forward to the final. The final 4 have 2 shimmers in them, but there are only 3 shimmer total. So there's only particle in 3 of the 24 inks, which I thought was really neat. All right. I can take a hint. My voice won't hold up, but I feel good, and I feel really happy about connecting. And Manuel and I were on the mend, so we're fine, and nobody can come and we can't go anywhere, but oh well, that's okay. As long as we, you know, just take care of ourselves and recover, that's what counts. So that's what we're doing. We got our movies and we'll get together with the people in our family after Christmas, I guess, or, you know, after we get better. So luckily there weren't any appointments. The next appointment is a cat appointment on January 3rd, so hopefully we'll be able to make that or reschedule it or whatever. Okay, so I will see you next time, and I should be face-to-face by then, but I won't subject you to me right now. Okay, so take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.